Is it working? Welcome to live chat. Somebody say something if there's anybody there.
Yeah, you're here.
Great.
Welcome to
live. Is it the one?
Yeah.
All right.
It's you. It's live.
Is anybody here? Anybody? Hello, hello.
It says 13.
Hey, there we go. High Pocket 7. All right, so everybody, bear with me. I'm still new to this. And just as retarded as I was before. Word. It's a wind chime we're trying to silence. Good afternoon to you. And hello. Hello, hello.
Then you might just have to roll with it.
That's fine. It's when I lean back in the chair.
Gotcha.
I'm outside. You may hear that chicken in the background. I'm in Eastern Washington. It's a sunny day. There's wasps and bees circling me all around. Hello from England. Thanks. That's Sonia. I love her. Yeah, I just wanted to check in, and I want to get in the habit of doing this more, and also to just keep driving traffic to my new YouTube channel, because starting from scratch is hard. But this is open-ended, so I thought I'd keep it as another Q&A or ask me anything, yada yada. Life advice, maybe. I'm pretty good at that sometimes with people who know me. Daryl Becker. Watching, oh, cool. Yep. School Sucks podcast. Check it out. Brett Venat is an awesome guy. Rich from Tragedy and Hope, also another awesome guy. I'm lucky to know both of those fellows. Hi, Nancy. Hi. Good morning, Donita. Hi, Tina. I loved the beer and chem song. Okay, cool. I think I know what you're talking about. Glad you liked it. If you like the videos, share them. This is a time, I feel like the Joy Camp videos are timeless. So YouTube has a way of making you feel like the only way to make something relevant is if it's new every day. But how do I get a hot conspiracy girlfriend? That's actually a really good question. Be yourself and meet people in person. I met Sonia in person, and I talked to her. I initiated a conversation. I would say don't look for girls on apps. No offense to anybody who has done that, and it might work for you, but meet in person. And don't be afraid to speak your mind. And be yourself. Really, I mean, that's basic information, but it worked for me. And work on yourself. Make yourself desirable. Make yourself someone they want to be with. It took me a long time to be ready for love in the way that I have it now. And I went through a lot of heartbreak, heartache, longing, lust, which I thought was love. And it was all good because it made me much more appreciative of finding it. Ideas on Isaac Cappy. You know, I don't know about Isaac Cappy, you guys. I don't know what his deal is. He came out of nowhere, and he's an actor, just another run-of-the-mill actor in LA, and he was claiming a lot without any evidence. And I thought that was interesting. I mean, it would have been no different, you know, and what he was saying was really not that much of a surprise to those of us who were really, you know, deep down those dark rabbit holes. It'd be the same as if I went on this live stream and was like, yep, Steven Spielberg is a pedophile, everybody. That's what he was doing. But he had no evidence in that. Even though I lean towards that probably being true based off of, you know, everything that has come out and some confessionals and, you know, it just makes sense. But that's what he did, and so his death was also interesting, curious, but I don't know what's going on with him. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, we think so too. I mean, what's interesting is, you know, Sonia and I, the comment here was about my girlfriend and I are the most darling couple. She's also my fiance, not just my girlfriend anymore. We are engaged to be married. We actually have a wedding registry. If anybody wants to contribute to that, we are moving out of our trailer and into a house in August, and we don't have anything because we sold everything last year. So if anyone wants to help out with that, maybe I'll post the link if anybody wants to help with that. What are your thoughts on Trump Epstein allegations? I think it's a wait and see for me. I can't tell. I mean, you know, I'm just a guy observing like all of you, and it certainly seems promising that Epstein is in jail, but he also got arrested before. And, I'll believe it when I see it. Basically, I'll believe that this, I, of course, am always leaning towards hoping for the best. And that's why I do what I do. And I commit myself to truth. And I believe in a better world. And I believe that we can overcome the evil that is dominating right now. But I'll believe it when I see it. When I start seeing some of these scumbags going to jail, then I'll be happy. Oh, look at that bee. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Any news on Tracy? I don't know who... Forgive me, but I don't know who she is. The name was familiar, Tracy Twyman, but I don't know what she was exposing or what her expertise was. So if anybody has some links or information about her, send it my way, because I'm literally ignorant. I don't know anything about Tracy Twyman. What's the backstory behind Anarchadelphia? Do you think it will be an annual thing like PorcFest? I think so. I think that those guys are trying to make it. They're trying to establish something, and I really like their design. They have a real cool aesthetic, and they certainly seem like they're launching it to be something more than just a one-time event. But I don't know what it'll be like yet. The guys are cool. I met them a few times. Super nice guys. The event itself probably will be pretty awesome. Like Mark Passy will be there, Max Egan, a bunch of other people. Should be fun. Red Ice Creations. Okay. Stefan Moni has an excellent video on this regarding Epstein. He does. I agree. He's had great videos about Epstein. There's Sonia English. Sonia's in the chat. Great. What did you want to say about Burning Man? I have a lot to say about Burning Man. I like that you called it Burning Ma'am, which is really funny. We call it Burning Ma'am at Burning Man, actually. Yo, what's up, Green Seed? Are you going to move away from California? I already did. I don't live in California anymore. I live in Washington State. This is Washington. And we love it up here. I love it so much. We just acquired a house that we are going to fix up and move into in a couple of months. And we're going to plant some roots up here in the PNW, the eastern side of Washington. So I'm not in California anymore, which is why you don't see many Joy Camp videos anymore. We made Joy Camp videos when I was still, pursuing my Matrix dream of being a professional actor. And that came to an end because it compromised my integrity too much. And so we moved, found ourselves here in Washington on the border of Idaho, and couldn't have landed in a better spot. We love it up here. Washington State University. No. Cool, you're a big bear. Seriously, if anybody knows or has contact to Owen Benjamin, please put me in touch with Owen Benjamin. I'm serious about this. We are meant to know each other. He is another LA reject. He's funny. He does comedy. And he speaks his mind. He aligns with truth. He's not always correct, but he admits that, which I love about him too. He says, I'm not always right, but I'm always honest. And he's funny. And he lives in Washington. So I do want to meet him desperately. If anybody has a way to get me in touch with him, please be the liaison. I'd really appreciate it. Getting things done. Hey, what's up, man? I'm the dude in Victoria. Would love to meet up. Cool. Victoria, Canada? Or Victoria... I don't really know much about... I love Washington, but I don't know much about it yet because we've been so busy ever since we got here. Joy Camp, Red Ice. That was a great interview. The Red Ice interview was a really good one. You were the man, Benny. You are the man, John Brisson. John Brisson in the chat. John, one of the smartest guys I know with some of the best information out there. He's one of the best researchers I've ever met. If you don't know his work, check it out. He also will help you fix your gut. There's your plug, John. Anarchadelphia, great. We'll see you there. Victoria, BC. Oh my gosh. Well, I love Victoria. I've been there twice. Sonia loves it. When we're out there, which we will be, let's meet up. Send me a message. Send me an email, and we'll catch up. I respond to all my emails and all my messages from people because people are the greatest reward. And I found that to be true. Since starting Joy Camp, the people that have come into my life are the best people. So if we go to Victoria, let's meet up. I want to meet you. Hey, man, I was surprised when I realized your friend Kevin. Yes, Kevin works on a show called Good Mythical Morning, which is one of the most popular YouTube shows in the world. And he's got a pretty prominent position with them. I'm really proud of him. You know, he's as he says, he gets to make people laugh for a living. And before people get all weirded out because he's working in Hollywood, I look at it like this. Those guys, Rhett and Link, if you know anything about Good Mythical Morning, their names are Rhett and Link, and they are self-made. They started on YouTube and developed their own brand and their own business, and they're not affiliated with any major corporation. They do advertisements, so because they're so popular, they will get some like ad deals, but they're like small business of Hollywood. They're like small business owners within a machine, and they're doing well. And I think that's awesome. And Kevin, they don't deal with anything political. They don't deal with anything religious. They're just there to entertain and do silly jokes and make people laugh. And Kevin achieved that job. I think it's awesome. So good for him. I'm really proud of him and happy for him. Sorry, I'm only catching every like fifth comment, but let's see. How's John's name? Yeah, listen to John Brisson's interviews on Higher Side Chats. They're great. Funny show though. Been watching a few years. They make me laugh. Cool. Yeah. Well, Kevin is the head writer, so he's responsible for. If you saw like, if there was a distinct moment when you're like, this show just got a lot better, it's probably when Kevin took over. Yeah, man. All right. So while there's a little pause in the chat here, hit that like button. Yes. Thank you, John. While there's a pause, I do encourage everybody, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my new channel, which is just me, Benny Wills. And I will start doing these live streams over there. But since we have the more of an audience here at Joy Camp, it's good to sort of like pad that transition somewhat. So people will see this, and then they'll go over there. And then also building that. Building a YouTube channel in a time when YouTube is being destroyed, or at least alternative people are being destroyed, is probably wasn't my best timing, but it is what it is, and I got to get the message out there. And YouTube still is the most prominent platform. I put my heart and soul into my poetry, and people respond really well to it, and I think it's helping people, so I want people to see it and experience it. So the numbers are more about reach, not about popularity. I don't care about being popular, but I do care about people receiving the message and hearing it. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, and please share a video, because I'm averaging like 300 views right now, which is sad. JoyTube. Good to see you, Benny. You look well. Oh, thanks. You like this? I got a little bit of a haircut. I didn't get a haircut for a couple of years. I finally got one. And, yeah. What else we got here? Did you ever get approached to attend strange meetings when you were an actor? No, I didn't. I mean, most people don't in LA, from what I've experienced. I mean, I know some pretty prominent people also. LA's just got a dark energy. So people are really smug, people are really desperate, everyone thinks they know how it works, and no one really knows how it works, except for maybe some people at the very top. But that was always what was the joke about LA to me, is that everybody thinks they know what it takes to be successful, but no one knows. It's totally random. Like, LA is a bizarre place, and, I mean, I know a lot of actors. I mean, I grew up in that world, both in LA and also in theater and, graduate program and all that. And it's so random who's successful and who's not. I mean, the best actors I've ever seen and I've ever known don't want anything to do with Los Angeles, because they don't care. They don't care about being famous. They like to act, and most people dabbled in LA and they get there and they're like, not for me. So the best actors I know that I've ever seen on stage, like really powerful performers, they're not acting, at least in LA. And the ones that do, I have seen become successful, usually have some quirk about them that is unique to them. And they may not be the best actor, but they're really great at doing that one thing. They like represent that, character really well, and then they become successful. But I'm always pretty surprised at who makes it. Like, couldn't have seen it coming. And also I know some really good actors who have been there now for over a decade, and they can't book a single job, and that just baffles me. And it just shows that it doesn't really matter how much talent you have. That industry is not about talent. It is to an extent, but it's a messed up place, man. It's really messed up. Have you seen Stranger Things 3? Hello, Bill. And yes, I have seen Stranger Things 3. I saw it in its entirety, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. Are you doing the Vegas Anarchy event? I am. Glad you mentioned that. I'm actually going to be the MC of the Anarcho Vegas event next weekend in Las Vegas. It's going to be 110 plus degrees, which I'm not looking forward to. But it should be a fun event. It's a one-day event. I'm the MC. A lot of cool speakers are going to be there. But Benny, what has been your reaction to the Epstein arrest? Okay, someone already asked that. My reaction is great, good. Arrest that scumbag. Great. Put him in, lock him up forever. Regarding what it means, in a bigger context, don't know. Wait and see. I mean, yeah, I would love for as a wasp. I would love for all the pedophiles to go down, and I would love for there to be some big, massive turnaround. And I'd love to see these scumbags go down. And I don't know. It's so vast, though. I mean, that's what as most of you, if not all of you know, it's a network. It's really extensive, and it bleeds into all aspects of society. So I don't know. I hope some dominoes fall, but to see it all absolute, for there to be ultimate vindication, I don't know if Epstein's arrest is going to equal that. Hopefully, there's some stuff. Hopefully, people go down. I'd love to see Hillary Clinton in handcuffs. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see anybody who mistreats or really abuses or sexually abuses a child. Yeah, I want to see justice. And I hope there is some. And there's so much good in this world. There's so much love that imbues so much, and there's so many people. We deserve some vindication. Humanity, the earth, everything. So hopefully it all does lead to something. I'm not excited until life sentence. I'm with you, man. I hear you. Will you or have you done a conspiracy guy on vaccines? Well, I have a poem about vaccines. Go to my channel, youtube.com/BennyWills. I have a 6-minute long piece that I perform at conferences called Hands, and it's about vaccines, and it's a true story. It's my friend who's a mother, and it's her story with her son through the vaccination process and what's happened to him as a result. And it's a powerful piece. And that's my conspiracy guy vaccines. I mean, it's not even conspiracy, it's truth. Other than that, we have a video on our channel called, I think it's called Ebola vaccine commercial or something like that. But it's about the Ebola. It was when the Ebola scare was happening a few years ago, and we made a vaccine commercial. And it's pretty funny. Check it out. It's on our channel. Hands was excellent but sad. Yes, it is sad. It is sad. But we have to hear these stories so that we're aware of it. I mean, it's so tragic that these mothers have to experience their kids changing in devastating ways, and then people call them liars and call them crazy and ridicule them and mock them. It breaks my heart. It's so bad. So, yeah, watch the poem, let the tears flow, and then share it. Get someone else to watch it. Get someone else who's an asshole about vaccines. Get them to watch it. I've actually sat down with people who are not of the open-minded persuasion, and they were affected by it. And we had a conversation about it afterwards. I think that, I'll be bold and say, I think that what I'm doing has the power to reach people who are otherwise unreachable in a lot of cases. That's why I'm passionate about it. I think I have a gift, and I'm sharing it, and I think that people respond well in it. Just like with Joy Camp. Joy Camp was the same way. That was comedy. This is poetry, what I'm doing now. And even that has comedy in it. But that's how we break through. For me anyway, this is what works for me creatively. People listen better. They don't test for cancer, gene mutation. Okay. Yes, you do. Thank you. Conspiracy, thanks so much. Great introduction. Cool. Yeah, I talked to a woman on the phone last week who said that they show Joy Camp videos to people consistently, and it's. She said it's helped wake up at least 3 of her friends by showing Joy Camp videos. That's awesome. I love that. That's what keeps me going. That's what's fuel. Because I don't know. It's when you see tangible results, you know you're on the right track. Polio. Okay. Anyone want? I want to talk about Stranger Things since you brought that up, Bill. Anybody else seen Stranger Things 3 this new season? Because I'll give spoilers if that's okay. You are a shill, Joy Camp. Okay. Cool, man. You want to believe that? Sorry, there's motorcycles. I'm not a shill. What else can I say? Nope, you're wrong. You do not wake people up. Haha. Okay. Cool, man. You're the one sitting here watching me talk right now. So, nothing like trolling. Benny Wills makes perfect. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind the trolls. It's fine. I mean, when people don't like you, and when you create a reaction in somebody, it means you're creating a reaction. You're causing some sort of an emotional feeling. So fine. You want to think I'm a shill? Then you're an idiot. First of all, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying or actually listening. But whatever. It's all good. What are your favorite topics that Liam Sheff covered? Oh, man. Every topic. Particularly vaccines. And HIV. Liam was on the forefront of vaccine research and of the HIV deception. And he has a great book. Liam Sheff, Official Stories. It's one of the best primers in particular for people who are just starting to scratch the surface on the conspiratorial aspect of reality. It's a fantastic book. Liam unfortunately died a couple years ago. He was a dear friend of mine. And because I'm an actor, formerly an actor, he has a chapter in his book about Shakespeare. And that made me cry. Because he talks about how there's no possible way William Shakespeare, the man, could have written all of those plays. The guy never left his hometown. He wasn't educated. He didn't have any life experience. So what that teaches kids is that you won't be William Shakespeare because William Shakespeare was just born with these amazing gifts and this worldly knowledge that he was able to write these brilliant plays, the best plays ever written, and he's just some simpleton from the country who didn't do anything or know anything or experiencing anything. And that's not fair to kids. But if you line up his story to this guy, Edward de Vere, and possibly even Sir Francis Bacon, you start to see a whole different narrative. You see this guy, Edward de Vere, who is living an enriched life, highly educated, who was, worked to he was getting education from like morning until night in all kinds of ways, much different than the education we get in modern society. And he was traveling, and also the years that he was traveling to certain places in Europe, that's when these plays were written. So when he's in Denmark, he wrote Hamlet. When he's in Italy, he wrote Romeo and Juliet. It mirrors this guy's life exactly. And what that shows is that it takes effort and time and persistence and diligence to become good at something. So William Shakespeare, if we're to believe this official story about William Shakespeare, he just was born gifted and that's it. Bullshit. He makes an analogy to someone like Beethoven. And Beethoven was an excellent pianist, but he was only good because he practiced every single day, year after year after year after year, and he became fantastic. I'm only good at what I do because I put in 20 years of time on the front end. That's why I'm good on stage. It's not because I just got up one day and was like, you know what, I'm going to go on stage and perform poetry and everyone's going to love it. I'm only able to do that because I spent 20 years training to be a stage performer. If I just woke up one day and was able to do it, then people would be like, man, well, he's got the gift and I can't do that. But because I put in work on the front end, maybe I can inspire people to do the same and say, you know what, hard work pays off. So that's why the William Shakespeare deception is important. And Liam said it best. And he's awesome. And I encourage anybody to check out Liam Sheff's work. Hey, Benny, you were great on Red Pill. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was the MC at the Red Pill Expo last month, Gio Griffin's event, and it was awesome, and I'm glad you were there. And thanks for commenting. Lay off, Matt. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay. What else we got? What's the deception of the HIV virus? Haven't heard of it. It's not what you think. In fact, it might not even be real. That's what I have to say about it. Go check it out. Look it up. Prove me wrong. Both AV9, AV10. Oh, great. Cool. Then you must be in the UK. Good to see you. Is life fair? I don't know how to answer that. Yes and no. There's adversity in life, and there are hurdles in life, and it's all in how you handle those moments. That's why I hate this victimhood culture and mentality where the mainstream is promoting. We are all victims at certain moments, and it's how we address those moments and handle those moments and move through those moments that define us, that uplift us, that help us to graduate level to level. So is life fair? Not always. But it's how you handle it. It's your journey. Life is about your journey and how you can, climb the ladder and become, not the financial ladder or any of that, but the ladder of your own life and your own potential. Was Carlos Castaneda a scam? I don't know. I've honestly never read Carlos Castaneda. I've heard quotes, and sometimes the quotes I've heard have been pretty cool. I don't know. If there's information about him being a scam, I'd be interested to check it out. Mudflood, yep. Will Max Egan ever debate PK over the... I don't know. I thought they were friends. I thought Max and PK were friends. We can be fair ourselves. That's good. Deception creates unfairness. Bill, by the way, Bill, I know that you're here. So tomorrow, I think it's from 2 to 6 or 1 to 6. If anybody's in Eastern Washington or Northern Idaho or Montana... Oh, man, look at that. B. I'm performing tomorrow in Spokane. So is Sonia and David Morgan, the Silver Guru. It's actually an event hosted by Bix Weir. If anybody knows Bix, he's from Road to Ruda YouTube channel. Great guy. And I'll be performing at his event tomorrow in Spokane at the Flour Mill. Come check it out. Thank you, Sonia. 2 to 6. 2 to 6 tomorrow. Jan Irvin has good info on Castaneda. I'm sure he does. I just can't stand Jan Irvin. What do you think of the 432 hertz sound thing? Have I looked into it? That's the Earth resonance, I believe, right? I believe it. I mean, everything is vibration, after all, right? Makes sense. You guys hear that rooster? There's a rooster. Anonymous, okay. Da-da-da-da. So, fair enough. Okay, just join. Please tap the wind chime behind you. Nice, huh? I live 30 minutes from Spokane. Great. Come to the Flour Mill tomorrow, 2 to 6. Me, Bix Weir, Sonia, my love, and David Morgan are all going to be there. So again, David David Weiss of the Flat Earth podcast. Okay, I'm down. I'm down to talk about Flat Earth. Jan Irvin is a moron. Mormon. He's a Mormon? Interesting. If you get down to Pullman, check out Rico's Bar. And he can connect you with Owen Benjamin. Who can connect me with Owen Benjamin? Oh, Ron. Okay. Flat Earth podcast. David Weiss. Got it. Great. I have to meet Owen Benjamin. It is destiny for us to be friends. Cool. David Weiss. Got it. Yep. Dearth. Da-da-da-da. Merchandise. Owen Benjamin is the man. I don't care what anybody says. He's awesome. He speaks his truth. He speaks his mind. He's unfiltered. And then he apologizes if he's wrong. That's a sign of good character. Absolutely. He's a legend. I didn't know who he was until a couple months ago. I was like, I'm really late to the party, but he's also an inspiration to me and Sonia because first of all, he moved to Washington, and he's turned his land into a garden. And he's gardening, and he has beautiful children, and it's awesome. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we're doing. We want to plant our roots and build a family and live a good life and have a relationship with nature. I think that's part of the solution. A big part of the solution is to, people like us who see through the veil need to reproduce. Need to have kids. We need to have families. The establishment doesn't want us to, but we need to. We need to have, we are responsible for the next generation, and we have to play our role and do that. And also not be so dependent on the grocery stores. The food might not be there one day. Cool. Love your videos on YourTube. Okay. Are you going to do any more Joy Camp style skits alone? Sure. I mean, what I'm doing, this is like the evolution of Joy Camp. I mean, Joy Camp started as a group thing, particularly with Kevin and me. We did videos for a long time, especially when we were roommates living in Los Angeles together. And then as I got invited to speak more, we both got invited to speak, but Kevin has a busier schedule than me, so he couldn't go, and I ended up going on behalf of Joy Camp, and I have a great, I have stage background, so I decided to use those speaking opportunities to perform. Goes over really well. It gives me the fuel I need to like really step into it, and that's what I've done. And now I really love it, and people seem to really love it. And so it's like it's this natural evolution for my path as a human and as someone who's, preaching truth and on the side of truth. My only allegiance is to the truth. And I'm so open to I'm open to having my mind changed about things. Like, I am not dogmatic. I have an open mind, and I'm constantly re-examining how I feel about most things. I like this format. Great. Me too. I'm going to keep doing it because I like it. And I think that, people have been telling me for a long time that this is something that I should do. And I have been reluctant and nervous because I don't know much about how to make, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm holding a microphone. Like, I don't even have a professional setup. I'm using the camera on my computer. If anybody wants to like upgrade my equipment, please send me some better equipment. Send me a USB camera. That's awesome. That would be great. Tyler Wills? Tyler Wills? Who's Tyler Wills? Do you support the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn? No, man. What kind of question is that? All caps. No, I don't. Should bring guests on. Yeah, I will. Sure, I'll bring on guests. Audio's good today. Well, I remembered to hold the mic not here, but here. Is there a way to get guests? I'm sure there is a way to get guests on, but I'm literally retarded when it comes to doing live stream and using equipment. And I mean, that. I will get better. I'm actually like, this is me stepping into my own fear by doing this and just saying, you know what? I don't know how this all works. I don't even know how to bring pictures on the screen for you guys to look at pictures if I wanted to show a picture, but I'm doing it anyway. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to get better. But Gladio. Oh, Gladio. I only know about Gladio from my friend Ole Damagard. He was telling me all about Gladio a couple years ago and blowing my mind. Someone said something I wanted to comment on, but I don't know what it was. What you talking about? Wills? Good, thank you. It is Wills. It's not Willis. People always think my name is Willis. It is not. And I think the quality of the name Wills is better than the quality of name Willis. So it's always a little bit cringy when someone says Benny Willis. I feel like it's not as strong a name as Benny Wills. I like my name, Wills. It means two things. It means willpower, and it means manifestation. I will something to be, and I have a strong will. And I've always loved that about my name. So when people get it wrong, it sucks. And my name gives me something to hold myself accountable towards. It gives me, I'm inspired by my own name. So now you know. Don't ever call me Benny Willis again. If you do, I'll be unhappy because I just told you my personal truth about it. Max Egan said he would debate anyone on the hoax and refuses to debate PK. Please ask Shill Egan. He's not a shill. Please ask Shill Egan if he would accept PK. Okay. I'll tell him that you want him to debate PK, but don't call him a shill. He's not a shill. Max, that's the problem, I really am so sick of everyone thinking people are shills. Don't get me wrong, there are some shills out there, but I've yet to meet one. Like someone who has some sort of platform. I've yet to meet one who I think is actually like a CIA operative. Yeah, he's not a shill. Max is a great guy. Max is one of the best people I know. I mean, he's selfless. He's an awesome guy. He may not always be right, but he's awesome, and his heart is in the right place, and he's doing this for the right reasons. And he's not doing it for fame or fortune. I mean, I've been to his house. I've stayed with him. He's one of my best friends. He's It's definitely not a shill. What's funny is I did say the same spiel last time. Max isn't a shill, and I won't say it again. What you talking about, Will? Okay, that's the second time someone said that. What happens after taking a black pill? You know, I'm still not. Jay Dyer explained the difference of red pill and black pill to me, and I'm still kind of. It's kind of a gray area for me, the black pill thing. I like Black Pilled YouTube channel for what it's worth. Thank you, Tommy8715. Max claimed people died. Okay. Were you there? Were you in New Zealand when it happened? Did you see the bodies? I don't know. Do you do a comedy collaboration? Yes. We're planning on it. In fact, we were just Skyping about it yesterday. In fact, I'm actually a little disappointed he's not here chatting on the chat because he likes to do that. Blackpilled is great. I agree. Devin Stack, he's great. I love your work. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you love my work, go to youtube.com/BennyWills and help me get some more subscribers and build a following over there. It'd be awesome. To be blackpilled means to learn information that induces despair or cause a loss of hope. Is that the real definition, or is that your definition? Stranger Things, great. Thank you. I do want to talk about Stranger Things. Seemed even more satanic with the season, perhaps. Okay, so this guy, Dr. Dave's Pinball Restoration, says Stranger Things Season 3 thoughts. Seems like even more satanic with the season, perhaps the season we are in. Max and Oleg Damagod are awesome. I agree. Okay, so Stranger Things. Yes. The satanic element of most entertainment in general is stronger than ever, and it's kind of scary. And my biggest takeaway from Stranger Things, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, was how disappointing it is that I can't be entertained by a show anymore without it being riddled with propaganda and ideologies and you know, and maybe it's always been that way. Maybe I just have my eyes are more clear to see. But I feel like it's more blatant than ever. Because obviously there's an element of propaganda and entertainment all the way back to the beginning of television. But it's so blatant now. And, you know, the social justice undertones in Stranger Things Season 3 was cringy and annoying. And that was what bothered me the most. And just as an and then that aside, as a show, I found the characters to be really unlikable. They're all so mean to each other. They're so mean all the time. And I thought the acting was pretty bad. I actually really liked Winona Ryder's performance in the first season when she was really struggling with the loss of Will and committed to finding him again and knowing that he wasn't dead. But this season, it's some of the worst acting I've ever seen. She was like schmackty, you know, making those facial expressions, and Hopper, everything he says is like a 12. And, you know, I went through a lot of acting training, and in acting school, they say anger is the easiest emotion to play. So avoid playing anger. Do anything else, and it's more interesting. Anger is easy. Most people, when they first time they're in an acting class, they pick up a monologue, they say it angrily, because that's like such an easy emotion to access. So I'm watching Hopper be angry. The whole season. He's one note. He's just angry. And then he's mean. And he's angry. Dull. Try something else, dude. It's true you whacked. Who is this guy? Dude, get out of here, man. It's so funny. David Icke's a great guy. Really nice guy. But Stranger Things. So this is where I want to get a little deeper about this. Because Bill, let's see. Bill, what'd you say? It started out with showing USA. Yes. Yes, so Bill just said, it started off, first season was the USA was behind the conspiracy, right? And it was all about MK Ultra and their secret government experiments. And now it's Russia. Everything's Russia. Fucking vodka drinking, sleazy, ugly Russians. Like, this is what we get. I just watched the Chernobyl show. Same thing. I'd like to see a show that has a Russian character who doesn't drink vodka, by the way. Why do they... I mean, I know that vodka is synonymous with Russia, but why do they always have to be chugging vodka? It's ridiculous. It's pure propaganda. The show is pure propaganda. Anti-Russia sentiment. I mean, in Chernobyl is the same thing. I mean, I watched Chernobyl with an open mind. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but some of the longest, probably the least entertaining show I've ever experienced. Just depressing and sad and boring. But it all led up to this courtroom scene in the very last episode, and the scientist, the hero scientist who knows the truth about what happened there. He's deciding on whether or not to tell the truth, because if he does, he knows he'll be in trouble. But he does. And he has this monologue, and the camera pans around him, and all he says is, "We are liars. Everybody lies. We are built on a foundation of lies. We have to stop the lying." That's pure propaganda. I'm not saying Russia's innocent about anything, but when you have a U.S. television show, a Hollywood-produced television show, portraying Russians the same way every single time, piggybacking off of this whole collusion conspiracy narrative that CNN and the rest were promoting, it's pure propaganda. It's getting us to hate Russia. When in doubt, blame Russia. I mean, that's just like that's been in the playbook for 60 years. I mean, come on. And people actually fall for it. That's the sad part. But okay, I do want to talk a little more about Stranger Things, though. How dare you belittle vodka? This guy's hilarious, man. I don't want to encourage you. I actually wish you would leave, but you're really funny. Chernobyl, ever hear of Galen? Oh, speaking of Chernobyl, okay, this is something I do want to emphasize because, there's been a lot of demonetizing and shadow banning going on YouTube, as we all know, right? But since I'm subscribed to most of those people who have been having the issues, I still get their videos. So I haven't experienced firsthand the scrubbing, the erasing of content that's going on YouTube. I'm just as feisty about it as everyone else. But it wasn't until Chernobyl that I realized how bad it was. Because as I'm watching Chernobyl, it was obvious that it was propaganda. It was just reeked of lies. Hollywood, lies. And I went to YouTube and I typed in, like I used to do, Chernobyl conspiracy and Chernobyl hoax, Chernobyl, the truth. And the search results only brought up Vice, ABC News, Dateline, stuff like that. Those are the only videos that came up when I was trying to learn, just gain some perspective on Chernobyl. So that was in real time, me going, wow, this is real. They are definitely like hiding things on YouTube that would offer you a different explanation of events. So if anybody, that being said, if anybody has something to read or something to watch that has to do with a different viewpoint, perspective on Chernobyl, please send it my way, because that thing just reeks. It reeks. The official story reeks, and I'm curious to know what really happened, or at least get some perspective that's not ABC News, or not HBO. Hey, it's that funny guy. Hey, it's that truth guy who got demonetized. What's up, buddy? So back to Stranger Things. Okay, so my friend Bill, who's in the chat here, he was hanging out with us a few weeks ago, and he brought up the name Netflix itself. Flicker rate. And if you notice at the beginning of, especially Black Mirror and Stranger Things, there's flickering lights. And it makes me think about Clockwork Orange in the scene when they're brainwashing, what's his name? And it's all these flashing lights. It's subliminal programming, and then he's a changed man afterwards. Well, in watching Stranger Things, you notice that there's especially in the last episode, there was a warning about a strobe effect. And so I try to be aware of myself and my experience as I'm experiencing the show. And the whole episode, and the last episode of the show was flicker, everything. And it was unnecessary, but it was all strobe effect. So it's having this flicker rate on our subconscious mind. And what are we experiencing? We're experiencing children in peril. Children in peril, children suffering, children fighting, children getting hurt. And then I'm gonna spoil the show. If you haven't seen Stranger Things season 3, I don't know. Don't leave the chat, but just mute me for a second or something. But 11 is being offered up to the big monster. I mean, they are so thin on plot on Stranger Things. It's the same plot every season. But Anyway, she's being offered up to the big monster by Billy, the adult man who has been possessed, who has been the host for this thing, and recruiting all the other people to make it stronger. And the way he hovers over her while the flicker lights are happening, and he says like, "Shh, be still. It'll be over soon. Just be quiet. It'll be quick." Like it's so creepy and pedophilic. While the flicker lights are going on, it's like they're programming it into our heads, And we're seeing this girl. I mean, if you look at Millie Bobby Brown, the actress, literally anywhere outside of Stranger Things, she looks like a woman. I mean, they're really sexualizing her. And of course, now there are TED Talks about how pedophilia is not a crime. It's actually a psychological state of mind, and we need to have sympathy. And this is the logical next step to really accept pedophilia as being part of life, and it's okay. So, with that said, I really do hope that there is some justice regarding the Epstein case, because we need to halt this in its tracks before it becomes normalized, because they're trying to normalize it. And a show like Stranger Things is subliminally programming us to have this in our minds. Just a poem idea from God's perspective, looking down and calling. It's funny. He says, just a poem idea from God's perspective, looking down on Earth. I had this idea for a video a few years ago for Joy Camp, where it was like, how do you explain, like, an alien comes down to Earth, and you have to explain to this alien why things are the way they are, and how impossible it is to like make sense of human behavior and some of the structures. Like, and the example I used back then was, how do you explain to an alien while there's homeless, hungry people on the street, yet restaurants are dumping their food in dumpsters and then locking them up so nobody can touch the food, so the food rots forever while people are hungry in the street? Like, how do you explain that to someone or a creature that's never, experienced Earth, like, in a way that would make sense? But anyway, he never did it. Now listen up, you pedo. Nope. Sodom and Gomorrah on our doorstep. Dude, Sodom and Gomorrah is here. Go to the San Francisco Pride Parade. It's here. It's here. Chaos is considered freedom now. Anti-Americana funny. I felt the same about Chernobyl. Was really upset. No one asked, how can we do that to Japan? Call it a good thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about nuclear bombs. Just being honest. I'm not committed to any belief, but I'm questioning the whole thing. How can I not? Bill, California, California, yep. Ease on pedophilia abuse is sickening, normalizing. Yep. Yeah, it is sickening. It's really sickening. And it's happening more and more. I mean, even the Pizzagate stuff, real or not, it planted the idea in all of our heads. So even the most like committed to believing the CNN narrative person out there now knows that there's an idea about politicians being pedophiles. A movie like, what's it called? Spotlight won Best Picture, and it's about exposing pedophiles in the church. So everybody now has, pedophilia is like in all of our minds, like big time. I feel like nukes are real. Maybe. They might be. Or it might just be one big fear tactic, and we maybe just carpet bombed the hell out of Japan, which is why they're able to live there. So they were able to live there so immediately after the bombs. But I don't know. I'm no expert. But I question it. I'm the conspiracy guy. Come on. It's hard for me to believe anything hook, line, and sinker. I question everything, especially official stories. All right, the sun is starting to move. I'm going to see if I can move this a little bit. Bear with me. Yo, there are so many bees and wasps hovering around. Maybe they're spying on me. It's a little better. I'm in a friend's house, by the way. Hold on. Put this in there. Oh, I was plugged in wrong this whole time. I don't know what I'm doing. Cold War is fake. Da-da-da. Give me a question. I want to answer a question. Is Press for Truth a walk-in newspaper? Okay. Give me something. You were the perfect fool. What? Oh, you're the perfect guest? Quest? Wait, sorry. Did the U.S. kind of win the Vietnam War because China never actually took over Vietnam? Uh-oh, I'm not the person to answer that question. I don't know. Is voluntary government realistic? Voluntary government. Yeah, I think so. If you consider yourself to be your own government, I think that voluntary. I govern my own body and my own decisions, and I do believe I'm more comfortable calling myself a voluntarist than I am calling myself an anarchist. And I'm not really comfortable calling myself a voluntarist because I don't like calling myself anything. I'm really hesitant with labels. But the idea of voluntarism is beautiful. I love it. And what I'm doing now up here with real estate investing is voluntarism at its finest, and it's beautiful. If anybody wants me to do a live stream about real estate investing and how to do peer-to-peer problem-solving real estate, I'd be happy to because I love it, and it's a way to solve problems and make sure everybody wins, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay. Why is Chernobyl a thriving Good question. Why is Chernobyl a thriving wildlife refuge now? Great question. I remember a few years ago there was a girl on YouTube who went to Chernobyl several times, sat at ground zero, kicked back, took pictures of herself, ate an apple off the tree, and then would go back home and get tested for radiation poisoning, and her levels were fine. Can't find those videos on YouTube anymore. But that was interesting to me. Maybe that was a hoax. I don't know. But it was interesting. Idea for a Joycam video title: 9/11 was an inside job. Oh, inside joke. Okay. Do you think forcing people to believe something is a form of violence? Yes, I do. Not violence, but it's force. And that's what, there's a guy named Thomas Sheridan, who some people may be aware of. He spoke at the AV9 conference that I was at last year, and he defined black magic as just that. It's when you force someone else to believe something. You force your ideas into someone else. That is black magic. And, well, it resonated, obviously, because I remember it. But it's not, I don't know, I think violence is physical violence. Have you read the book Imperial? No, I haven't. Who is Galen Windsor? I've heard that radiation is actually beneficial. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that nuclear power is actually pretty clean. But again, these are just ideas. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny. I just have heard that it's possible. Do you think that we are running out of conspiracies? Nope. They're endless. Was Ted Gunderson right after all? I think Ted Gunderson was right. I think he was onto something. I think he was able to. What is it? Was that the Franklin one? The school? Yeah, shit's pretty alarming. How do we turn this crazy train around? Oh, NWO. How do we turn it around? I think it starts with you. It starts with the individual. Reclaim your own life. That may sound cliche, but I firmly believe it. That's where I am. I mean, I'm constantly internalizing everything I'm learning and applying it and recognizing where there's flaws in my thinking and flaws in my behavior and correcting them. And I align myself with my best version, and it's a lifelong process. So it starts with the individual. And don't be afraid. Speak truth. Even if you have to apologize because you were wrong. Speak truth. Don't be violent and attack people with it, but own it. Don't be afraid. I mean, if you notice, people who are believing the mainstream narrative are not shy about sharing their opinions with you. You have a responsibility to defend the truth and speak up. It's like that great meme. Even if your voice quakes, speak truth. Empower yourself. Be willing to be unliked by people. And don't just do it on Facebook either. I'm so sick of Facebook proselytizing where everybody's arrogant, everybody thinks they're right. Have conversations with people. If you're in public and someone says something that is wrong, kindly start a conversation with them. You don't have to beat them over the head with your opinion, but help people. I mean, people are good and they're just misled. So absolutely, I think we can turn this train around. I think it's already determined. We just have to participate in order for it to manifest. We are contributing towards it. I mean, I said this on a podcast a couple weeks ago. Most people that I talk to at conferences and events have only been awake for a couple of years. 2 years, 3 years tops. That's promising. So in spite of the censorship and in spite of this, the polarization that's occurring, people are waking up now more than ever. That's really promising. Whether it's something like, the Federal Reserve Bank, becoming aware of that, or if it's HIV, or if it's Chernobyl, or anything, whatever it is, everyone has a different access point. And everything that they do to suppress the truth or to lie to us, someone, and more than one person, will wake up as a result. It's push and pull. It's cause and effect. People are waking up all the time. So, yeah. And I think self-ownership is key. Own yourself and speak truth. And be in love and have kids. Reproduce. Start a family. Have a relationship with your garden. And that is helping. I see there's people fighting here. Don't fight with each other. And stop fighting with each other. Stop fighting. We're all in this together. The elite don't agree on everything, but they always make decisions together. And the more infighting we have, the further from change we get. So, excuse me, I'm burping, but stop fighting so much. Be nice to each other. Come on. You know better. Be kind. Golden rule. I get yelled at when I make flat earth blue chicken jokes. Okay. Sorry. Do you know of Smedley Butler? I do know about Smedley Butler. He was the general, I believe, right? Who woke up and had some pretty no bullshit things to say about government and military, I believe. Vaccines is an easy one to figure out. I agree. Very easy to figure out. Things like circumcision, very easy to understand that is wrong. Good place to start with people because it's logic. What's the other one? Oh, I like to use finance as an example, as a way in with people to prove that this system doesn't want us to succeed. We get absolutely no education on money. What it is, why we have it, how to use it, what interest is, what debt is, none of it. I went to 21 straight years of school. I have 2 degrees. I have a master's degree. Never once did I have a class on how to handle money. There's your proof. Instead, they tell you to go to college, follow your dreams, and get yourself in debt. Obvious trap. So that's a good one for me to use because everyone has like a frustrated opinion about money, whether they're rich or poor. And I feel like, not everyone, but generally speaking. And it's a good access point. So I use that one. It's not conspiratorial either. Money talks and it's telling lies. Okay. All right. Agreed, Benny. Yeah. Thoughts on Dr. Sebi? Dr. Sebi is the vegan diet guy, right? Vegan diet. Benjamin Tucker. I don't know who these people are. Butler messed up and prevented the fascist overthrow of FDR. Oh, okay. I don't know much about it, so I'm also really open to information. If you guys want to send me things to read or look at, do so. And friendly reminder, at the 58-minute mark, go to youtube.com/BennyWills, subscribe there, share Hands, my poem about vaccinations, or my racism poem. These are powerful pieces that I think people can break through people's programming. How do we power over our food and water and no money slaves to, what else should we do taking our power back? You already know. I feel like we can sit here and talk about it, or you already know. Like, I feel like I don't even like calling it my higher self. It's just that voice inside of me that knows what's right. Like, you know how to reclaim your life. Don't succumb to your bad impulses. Rise above them. If you want to watch porn, don't watch porn. It's if you feel like, gosh, I shouldn't be drinking, and then you drink, don't drink. Like, you already know these little things that'll help you empower yourself, and then, you'll just become better and better at it. Grow your own food, taking your power back. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. It's a lost art form, and it's recent. It's only recently, in the last couple of generations, that we've become so detached from outside. Go back outside. Start, stumble, figure it out. I'm so excited to become a gardener, and I know nothing about it, and I'm intimidated by it, but I'm excited about it. Do it. Go outside, dig a hole, plant something, watch it grow, have an experience. But I like to drink. LOL. Yeah, I know. I like to have a drink every now and then too. But it's about when you're betraying yourself, and you know it when you're in public and you decide not to say something. Like when you're not being honest with what you should do. We all know. Dr. Sebi had proof of curing AIDS. Was one. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. He's vegan, I think, which is fine. Should copyright laws be less hardcore? Yes, absolutely, they should. Yeah. I mean, they should extend... copyright laws. I have a problem with laws in general. I think there's fundamental laws of reality that we should abide by, but the problem with enforced laws is that behind every law is a gun and a cage. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Hey Bunny, it was cool meeting you at Red Pill Expo. Cool, good meeting you too. Hope to see you at next one. Love your content. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Go to my channel and subscribe and share a video because I need it. I had to leave my huge garden after leaving my husband. Now I just have 20 pots of veggies, but it's there. We love you, Humor. Thank you. Thank you. I am sweating too. It's hot. Eastern Washington is hot in July. How do you deal with the deaf and dumb spirit and people around you? Good question. How do I deal with the deaf and dumb spirit? Patience. And not giving up. Finding those access points, like I was saying. I mean, it's like everybody knows that there are problems. Everyone knows in their hearts that there are things wrong. You just have to find that entry point. Find your way in. Meet them at their level. Find someone, find something that you agree on. Start there. Ask questions. Don't be confrontational. Be a ninja with it. If you yell at them, if you try to force your opinions on people, they will stop listening. In fact, you'll create more of a schism between you. But have patience, and if you speak from the heart, speak truth, you will know what to say. Hashtag gay pride. Hey, if you're gay, that's cool. It's cool. I'm just so sick of the in-your-face, pride stuff. It's unnecessary at this point. We get it. No one's homophobic. It's a nonsense word. Homophobic is a nonsense word. No one's afraid. No one has a phobia. It's ridiculous. I have lots of gay friends, and I'm not homophobic, but I'm allowed to be critical of the pride stuff because I think it can be damaging. And just because I have a critical point of view, or critical thing to say about gay pride, doesn't mean I don't like gay people. And that's how that mentality works. It's crazy. Do you hate juice? No. I think I know what you mean, and no, I don't. Are the celebs really dead or just retire? I don't know. Some die, obviously. But I think that there's a chance that some of them exit their fame and identity and go somewhere else. Absolutely. I think it's possible. Gay pride not open. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have gay friends who also don't like gay pride. Because it's not for everybody. And it's really in our face. When did it get its own month? When did that happen? All of a sudden, it's its own month. I'm not saying don't be, whatever. I don't want to say the wrong thing here, because I have no problem with gay people. No, zero problem. No problem. I just don't know why it has to be so in our faces all the time. It seems pretty weird that it's pushed so hard. Pride is infested in corporate money. Yeah, exactly. That's why every corporation has a rainbow filter over their logo. They don't actually care, but they're cashing in and promoting it. It's obvious. Gays get a whole month, America gets 1 day. That's a funny way to put it. I'm convinced Dave Chappelle and his whole family are clones. That's a tricky one. My instinct is that that's not true. And I'll tell you why. Because comic timing cannot be done by anybody. You have to have good... Dave Chappelle, while he's... I'm confused as to why he's going back to the industry, and it's actually disappointing that he's, like, made a comeback. He's still funny. His sense of humor, his Netflix specials were funny. And that kind of skill, you can't... I don't think a clone could have that. I think he's still got it. I think he just signed some bad contract and sold part of his soul away. So I don't know if I honestly, for my honest opinion, may be wrong, but I think that the cloning stuff and the transvestigation is all misdirection. That's to keep us distracted. Not to say there's not some trans actresses and that some, I don't know, and cloning's real to an extent, but I think it's more of a dead end. Did you hear his cousin's testimony? No, send it to me. I'm happy to check it out. Like I said, I mean, it's just my instinctual feelings about it. It's not that I believe it. I'm just being honest. Like it feels, someone who's spent his whole life performing, and I see Dave Chappelle as a good performer, and I feel like that'd be hard to just transpose onto a clone. That's all. He wore the dress. Yeah, well, that's a real thing. The exploitation of black people is real. That's a real thing. I mean, even on Stranger Things, which is supposedly this, or not even supposedly, it's blatantly SJW. There's gay characters now. There's this real feminist undertone. Yet the black characters are total stereotypes. I think it's hilarious. The black woman who worked at the hospital in the show is a total stereotype. The little black girl, what's his name's little sister, who is the most annoying character on the show. She is one-dimensional. She's just got attitude. She's an attitude. She's that kind of black girl, and it's... I mean, they just don't care. So there's like a celebratory, masturbatory SJW vibe, yet the black people are still stereotypes. It's very funny. All right, where am I at? Hour 7. I think I might end pretty soon, guys, because I'm getting pretty hot. My computer's getting kind of warm. But this is really fun. Favorite Super Mario Brothers game. This is how you know we've been doing this for a while. Favorite Super Mario Brothers game. Obviously, Super Mario Brothers 3. Obviously. It's a great game. Sonic is trash. I like Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in particular was a great game. Why are we talking about this? Yep, you got it. You're welcome. What do you think will happen if too many people suddenly wake up and we haven't finished prepping? Well, there's going to be a time of unrest. This is why, we are... And I'm not the only one. I mean, a lot of people we talk to are getting the same, pull, this draw. I think a lot of us are, feeling like it's time to get out of the cities. It's time to have land. It's time to have a relationship with that land and with the community around us, and to have supplies necessary and a, functional property, sanctuary, if you will, that if things do go belly up, we will at least be somewhat prepared for a huge change. So if you haven't started moving in one of those directions or all of those directions, I suggest doing so. And it's not alarmist, it's not fear-mongering, it's just logic. You don't want to be dependent on this system because it could fail at any time. I mean, speaking of Liam Sheff, who we talked about earlier, that's a wasp. He used to say, doesn't matter what your diet is. Doesn't matter if you're vegan, if you're a ketogenic, if you're a carnivore, if you're eating raw or whatever. If you're buying all of your groceries from the supermarket, you are a truckatarian. We're all truckatarians. Unless you're growing your own food, or at least, very least, bartering with your neighbor and eating, or knowing your farmer, your farmer's market, you're a truckatarian. So we can all stand to use a little more self-reliance. Empower yourself. Grow something. My questions above. Campbell What's your question? Above. Not compliance through becoming you. Okay. Are you still in the LA area? No, I'm not in LA. I'm in Eastern Washington. But I'm also just all over the place. I've flown, check this out. I've been on 39 flights in 2019 alone. It's only mid-July. I've been on 39 flights. I'm all over the place, guys. I'm everywhere. Yeah, rest in peace, Liam. Yep. All right, any more questions before I wrap this up? Wait for a second. This is great, guys. I'm going to keep doing this if you guys like, but I'm going to start doing it on my other channel, on the Benny Wills YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't already, go subscribe to youtube.com/Benny Wills. I'm going to be transitioning. That's funny. That's a funny word these days, transitioning. Me, Benny Wills. I'll be transitioning from Joycamp centric to Benny Wills centric. Freddie Mercury. 39 flights, car. Oh, we're going to die in 20 if you keep. Yeah, right. I know. That's why I'm flying now, bro. Getting it all in now. Thank you, Benny. I want a Joycamp hoodie. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to, maybe it's a little presumptuous, but Sonia and I sold all of our stuff about a year and a half ago, a little less than that. Moved into a travel trailer and just hit the road, got out of LA. Best decision I ever could have made. But we don't own anything, and we're about to move into a house in August, and we are getting married in October. So we have a registry. If anybody would like to help us acquire some things to help start our new life together, I can post that in the comments, and you're welcome to contribute. No pressure, but hey, why not make it available if you're interested? And again, if you don't want to, no big deal. Don't give me a hard time for even asking or suggesting it, but it's an option if you want. And also, if you want to support me as an energetic exchange, you can go to patreon.com/Benny Wills and make a donation. You can donate through PayPal or send me some Bitcoin. I'll take Bitcoin. And Litecoin too, why not? So don't get mad at me for asking, but I have to say it. I mean, come on, it's fair. I produce a lot of content for free, and I'm happy to keep doing it for free. But if you guys want to, throw me a bone, I'll accept. Did you ever fall in love with a wine mom? What does that mean? No, I didn't. I haven't. Why so much flying? So much flying because I go to a lot of conferences and events. And I'm lucky in that I have a friend who works for an airline, and she made me her companion because she believes in my work. She loves Joycamp, and she loves what I do as a performer, and she wanted to make sure that flying never got in the way of me being able to participate in various events and conferences. So I get to fly for free. And that's the truth. And I fly standby. And it's stuff like that that makes me know that I'm on the right track, that I'm doing something right, because that fell into my lap. It's pretty awesome. So I take advantage of it. When people invite me to speak at their conferences, I say yes, because they don't have to worry about getting me there. And it's brilliant. So if you want me to speak at your event, let me know. Just make sure you give me a roof over my head, a comfortable bed, and maybe a stipend, some meals. But I'll come. Benny and the Jets. Thanks, Benny. Okay. Hey, Benny, do you know Isaac Cappy? I talked about Isaac Cappy earlier. Go to the beginning of the video. We love you, Benny. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, guys. This is really awesome. This is really great. I have to say, it sometimes feels like, and I know that my peers feel the same way, it's like speaking to a black hole sometimes. You don't know who's watching. You don't know who's paying attention. You can get caught up in the view count, and you feel like nobody's paying attention. So to have feedback like that, it's beautiful, and I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. And I'm glad that the work I've done and the work I'm producing is meaningful to you, and that you like what I do, and that you like me. Regardless of whatever that dude was saying earlier, I'm definitely not a shill, and I do this because I believe in the best in everything, and I'm aligned with truth. Always have been, always will be. And I think I will end it there. It's okay if you missed the beginning. I'll just make it public. And that's all. You guys are great. Benny Wills, or BennyWills.com, YouTube.com/Benny Wills, Patreon.com/Benny Wills. And I'll post my wedding registry information in the comments below. You guys are great. And And I'll see you next time, maybe with a better USB camera. All right. And goodbye.